All right, we are live and welcome everyone. My name is Jack Bosch, as you know by now. I'm the co-creator of the Land Profit Generator Method, and right now I'm welcoming with us one of our students, and actually also now one of our coaches, John Basler. How are you doing, John? We're in Germany. He's actually from Germany. His name is Zernke, but let's call him John. It's his American name. How are you doing, John?
Hi, Jack. I'm fine. Thank you. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you very much.
Great.
We're excited. There's lots of engagement going on. Lots of people are
Good.
asking questions. Lots of people are doing their homework for the current multi-day masterclass here. Everyone is jumping in. We're seeing already people already gotten their county selected, gotten their list. I mean, it's fantastic what's happening in the group. So, John, let's talk about you though. Tell us a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit about you. First of all, where do you live?
I live in beautiful Hamburg in Germany.
All right. So, guys, today's session is about, again, virtualizing your land profit machine. And we brought on John because he actually does land flipping from outside of the United States. He doesn't do it. He does do it in the United States, but from outside of the United States. So, John, tell us a little bit about your history, your background. How did you get to this, and what do you do now? And just tell us a little bit about you and the trajectory.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, my name is John, or Sönke, as you like. As Jack already said, I'm from Germany, and I live in Germany. Most of my time I lived in Germany. During my studies, I used to travel a lot and went through my backpack through all Latin America. But finally, I came back to Germany, and after finalizing this, after graduating from university, I I started in a consulting company, an international American consulting company, and yeah, I mean that was an exciting time. I learned a lot. I learned a lot of skills that I can apply today. However, I never was the boss of my time, Jack. So what I felt is, no, it wasn't not just my feeling. I mean, I worked from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. more or less. Some days a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. And I had a good job. I also was satisfied with my salary. However, I never was boss of my time. And so,
Right. And I know exactly. Like
yeah,
before we started, what actually drove us to build the land business, guys, is the fact that it was an exact same situation as Zernke, just perhaps a little even worse because I couldn't even quit my job. Like I wasn't I worked in a software company as a business analyst, and that got us our green card. But the
okay.
workload was so much that we're like, there's no way we're going to continue that after we have our green card. And you basically made the similar decision. You're like working from 8 or 9 in the morning till 9 or 9 o'clock at night, and you made the decision that this can't be it, right? This can't be the rest of your life like that.
Yeah, and then some years ago, I got a child, and I felt that I had to change something because I wanted to
You
see.
became a dad, yes.
Yeah, I became a, I became a dad, and I I I realized that I have to change something because I wanted to see my kids growing. And so I quit my job and I established my first business here in Germany. And nowadays, I must say I failed. I can be totally honest with that. I failed after a year for different reasons. And then, I went back a little bit for in the consulting business because I had to earn some money for my kids, and also for myself, of course. And I think it was some 4 or 5 years ago. I read a podcast. I heard a podcast about the land profit generator.
Yeah, let me jump in here. So basically, I live here in the United States for 25 years already, right? So, but like a few years ago, every year except for the COVID times when we couldn't travel, we would go back to Germany, and in some of these trips, you just meet people like working around that you do real estate and things, or Germans look at the American podcast and they found our podcast. So word kind of got around that we do land flipping, and I was invited to some German podcasts, and that's I think where Sönke, where John heard us first.
Yeah, exactly. And I must say, at the beginning, Jack, I didn't believe what I heard, because it sounded to be too good to be true. And so I put it aside, but somehow I couldn't resist, and and I jumped in, and I bought the LPG, and I started my own land business. And it was a decision that I never regret in my life, because it changed my life 100%. And especially now, in the past, during the COVID time, I had full flexibility over my time, about my business. I could do everything here in my little office, and it's an amazing time and an amazing possibility that opened that program to me, and it was one of the best decisions I have ever made.
Wonderful. Hey. So you engaged with our programs, you got going with us, you got the help, you got the thing, you got the tools, you got the accountability, you got the things out there, and then you propelled forward. Now, last year, let's just take last year. So how many deals did you do last year?
Oh, I did 38 deals.
And
this year I want to do a little bit more,
Sure, absolutely. Every year your systems get better, everything gets better. So 38 deals from Germany, from the comfort of your home in Hamburg, Germany, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
That's exactly. So guys, this is the message here. So in order to virtualize your business, let's see, let's jump into that part right now, because in order to and it changed your life, you were able to never have a job again. You're with your family all year long. During the COVID times, you were able to be with your family all day long and still bring in a very nice, 30 times whatever the average income is. We're not going to disclose it right now. Everyone can do the math, right? If you're in the low end or the high end, it's anywhere you shave it, it's six figures, right? So you're pulling in six figures, possibly multiple six figures from this, and while doing deals from home and being with a family. Now, who wants that? If you want that, go into the comments right now and put in a heck yes. I want to hear some feedback here. I want to hear from you guys, letting us know that who doesn't want that? That's what everyone wants. Now, John, in order to do that, now again, we have lots of people watching this here right now, and some of our audience right now, some of our listeners, watchers, people that are watching it, are looking to really not go travel around the world. They're looking to perhaps take an RV and go travel around the United States for a few months, right? Some of you guys want to live a year in Italy, like one of our coaching students, Robin, is doing. He's another student from Germany. He's commutes between Frankfurt, Germany, and Mallorca, Spain, and has a place in both places, and is doing $50,000 plus a month in profits, $50,000 a month in profits from land deals in the United States while he's over there. But since we have you over here, you right now, John, what does anyone need to do? What are some of the things that you need to outsource in order to be able to do deals remotely? Let's talk to some of those.
Yeah. So the beauty of this business, of this structure, is that you can do this from anywhere in the world. You just simply need internet and a laptop, a simple laptop, And with those two items, you can run this business. Okay. There are only a few things that you structure your organization needs in the US, and this is as simple as it is. It's first of all, you want to have a virtual mailbox, okay, so that your sellers or also your buyers can send you letters to your mailbox. And the beauty of this virtual mailboxes are that you get the mail and you decide whether they should open it or not. And if they open it, they scan it and send it to you to an email. So there's no need to pick up your mail because you get it online. You get it.
So in other
You get
words,
it by
virtual
email.
mailboxes are services that you can choose an address. Usually, in many cities in the United States, they have a variety of cities with different price points. So you want to have your office in the Empire State Building in New York. There's services that you can have that address there. Looks good, looks fancy, and so on. And it costs a little bit more because obviously rent in the Empire State Building costs more than renting, I don't know, in a strip mall in Huntsville, Alabama, right? So it's a different kind of ball game. But so you choose where you want to be, what message you want to send to your sellers and buyers of where you're located. So based on that, you just pick a middle of the road thing, let's say Atlanta, Georgia, or if you're in the United States, you pick it close to where you live anyway, just so that if necessary, you can go there, but you don't really need to. Then, so what they do is they literally, mail comes there, they scan the envelope, and you get a notification. You log into it and you look at your mail and you say like, well, that looks like spam, that looks like spam, that's garbage. Oh, this could be an accepted offer, or this could be a deed that was sent back, or this could be something like that. And then you mark those, they open them later for it, they scan it in there, and they send it to your email. So literally you can be sitting on the Piazza Maggiore of Italy, somewhere in Italy, and drinking a cappuccino and having your laptop and Wi-Fi and checking your mail that came in Huntsville, Alabama. How cool is that, right? So you can do that. So John, now what else do you need? And you obviously have one of those, right?
Oh, of course, yes, I do.
So then what else do you need to outsource? What do you need to automate? I mean,
it's not only for the non-US residents. I recommend it also to the US residents. You want to have a mail service. So we use letter printing. So it's an excellent service. They mail always a bunch of neutral letters to the sellers. Because, first of all, from overseas, it's a little bit difficult getting the mail to the US. And beside this, personally, I don't want to mail every week 1,000 print and prepare 1,000 letters every week and bring to the mail. I want to have a service that does that for us. And so we use that mail service that do every work for us. We just prepare it on our computer, upload it into the system, and they mail it 2-3 days later.
Exactly right. So that's another piece. That is actually our technology already. Actually, it integrates with those and allows you to literally just take it out of technology, email it to them, and then they get going with it with a even closer integration coming. So that's another tool that, if you use the right tools, can be provided for you. Then next, let's talk about, so you sent the letters. Now the next process step is, the way we do that, we sent those what we call the neutral letters, which we talked about early in the week, and you now get these phone calls back. And now you're 9 hours ahead of Pacific of Los Angeles, 12 hours ahead of, or 11 or 12 hours ahead of Hawaii, even 6 hours ahead of the East Coast. So in other words, 5 p.m. is anywhere between 11 p.m. for you, or 2 in the morning, or even 5 in the morning, depending on where it's in the US. So it's obviously, you can't be picking up the phone in the middle of the night, otherwise you have no life. And so that's another service that we also recommend for really anyone, because even if you're in the US, you don't want to pick up the phone all day long, right, from people. You want to have a life. You want to design this business. We have designed this business such that you actually have a life and make money, right? You have a life to make money. So what do you do for that? You use a virtual phone system, right?
Yeah. Jack, I tell you something. We have not answered one telephone call from our sellers, and we have sent, I think, 60,000 letters to our to sellers. We have not picked up one telephone call. So what do we do? It's automatically routed to a call center,
Which brings us to the next thing, a call center. So you can pick up these phone calls yourself. You can set up a voicemail, right? We typically recommend, particularly for us who are in coaching program, you get to a process where we help you set up where we recommend the phone system. We'll give you instructions how to set it up. If you're struggling with it, we'll help you set it up. Nobody usually struggles with it, but if you do, we'll help you set it up, and also help you set up a call center. Because again, if somebody calls in, you can set up a voicemail, but then you have to kind of listen to the voicemails, perhaps call some of them back. Wouldn't it be better if you can simply have a call center take care of all of that? So you guys also have the call center, right?
Absolutely. And this is very convenient. Whenever we get a call, we get an email from the call center with the details. Then we know who called us and which APN, which county, so that we are enabled to write a proper offer some 1 or 2 weeks later, or whenever we have time.
Exactly right. So great. So now this is taken care of. Now you send your offers back out to the same mailing house, right? And now the selling side, you don't really need to outsource, automate, or outsource anything there. You can put properties on Zillow from just as much from Germany as you can put it out from China, as you can put it out there from, I don't know, from Houston, Texas. So there's a couple of things that you can do, but internationally, like using that incognito mode or something like that. But generally speaking, that works the exact same way. So getting your lists works the same way, right? Selecting a county works the same way. Getting the letters out, well, you use a mailing house, whether you're in the United States or outside of the country, you should be doing that anyway. Getting those phone calls back, you should be using a virtual phone system and ideally a call center that takes care of that for you. Getting the offers out, you can do it. If you're in the United States, you can do it yourself. If you're outside the United States, again, you use a service for that that does it for you. And then once the offers come back accepted, guess where they come back accepted to? To your virtual mailbox, right? So you have it in your virtual mailbox, you say open, it comes back in your email, you print it out, you sign it, you scan it, you send it back to the seller. Now you pick up the phone and talk to the seller, say like, hey, Mr. Seller, we just got your offer accepted, welcome, I'm excited for that, let's move forward with the deal. And then you send that to the title company, open escrow, you create your listings, and boom, you are in business, right?
Sounds easy on it as it is.
Well, of course, obviously, well, it is much easier than house flipping, because in house flipping, guess how you're gonna get that house and estimated the repairs. In house flipping, you gotta go and gotta get boots on the ground. And I told that in other sessions before that we have tried that. We have tried what's called virtual house flipping. So we've gotten letters out, we've gotten people to contact us, we've gotten houses under that we looked at where somebody says, yeah, I want to sell the house. Well, in order to know what to offer on the property, you got to send somebody out to that house to estimate repairs. And guess what that person did without a fault every single time? They stole the deal from us, right? Either they stole the deal or they weren't able to do the deal, or we arranged for a deal without that and then sent some, and then the buyers came in and the buyers looked at it and they went behind our back, because in the house world, you have to have boots on the ground. Somebody has to see, the buyer or the seller, ideally both, have to go see that house. With land, does anyone need to see that house, that land? No, you got Google Maps, Google Earth, right?
Some time ago, this is an interesting story. So some time ago, I was on vacation in the US. Was just on vacation, and by chance, I was close to I think it was to the location of my second deal, and I took the chance and visited that lot. That was my second or third deal, and I went there, and I was somehow excited, Jack. I was somehow excited to see the lot that I sold. And when I came there, I was a little bit disappointed, because it looked exactly like it was published on Google Maps or on Google Earth. And it just came to my mind, there is no way necessary to visit the lots, because all information, all photos, all information, all data you get from public resources.
Absolutely. Yes, exactly right. You have it all there. So therefore, this is a 100% virtualizable business. That also means, guys, that you don't have to do this from outside of the country if you live in the US. But what it means is that if you're in New York City, and we get those messages with somebody, or sometimes when people say like, well, Jack, I'm in Los Angeles, there's no cheap land here. So John is in Hamburg, right? There's no cheap land there either. And he's doing it in the United States. So if you're in Los Angeles or San Francisco or New York City or Miami Beach, where there's no cheap land, then go do deals somewhere else. The same concept applies. You don't have to do deals in Manhattan, right? Where even the airspace over the land is valuable. Now you don't have to do deals there. You can do deals if you live there. You could do deals in Michigan. You do the deals in Alaska. You go do deals in Texas. You go do deals in Indiana. You go do deals in Kentucky. Wherever the heck you want to do deals, right? So it doesn't matter where you live, because this is a true virtual business within the United States and even from beyond the United States. If you're in Canada, it's like, well, can I do this in Canada? It's a question we get probably every day 5 times. I don't know if you can do this in Canada, because I think you can if you can get the data. And that's actually one of the biggest advantages here. Like, United States have no privacy rules really compared to the rest of the world. Right? It is every piece of information about who owns the property, where's the property located, what's the assessed value of the property, where does the owner of the property live, all of that, what's the size of the property, when did they buy it, how much did they pay for it, all of that is public information, it's public records. That is not the case in Canada or in Mexico or in Germany or in China and so on. But it doesn't matter, because you can be in all those places and use the virtual system and do this business inside of the United States from anywhere you are. And that's what you're doing. John. Now for the closing, what do? You use title companies usually, right?
I use either title companies or I do it myself. It depends on the lot. Usually, the first 10, 15 deals you close by title company. And today I only closed the complicated deals with title company, but even the self-closing is manageable from out of the US,
Right. Wonderful. So self-closing is something, again, with our coaching students, we help them close in 2 ways. The standard way is that you use a title company does everything, and you send the documentation in as the buyer. And if you do a double closing, right, you send the documentation as the buyer, and the documentation is as the seller. The buyer sends the documentation in, the seller sends the documentation in, the buyer sends the money in, the money's going to be used to pay everyone. Great. Well, you know what? You don't need a title company for that. You can actually do that yourself too. And when those, particularly in the lower price properties where perhaps you're not making $50,000, but perhaps you're only making $5,000, you don't want to leave another $1,000 or $1,500 on the table for a title company. So you can do this yourself. And you can even do that remotely, because all you need to do is do what? Number one, a title search. You can hire an abstractor, a company, to do the title search for you. Then you need to email the seller a deed to send you, or a notary public or something, a deed, or get a cashier's check, or get wire some money around. And you can do that from anywhere in the world again, right, John? So what ratio do you do? How many deals do you do with title companies? How many do you do with self-closing?
Oh,
you don't have to give
I would say 50-50, more or less 50-50.
Yeah. So this is, again, so it doesn't matter where you live in the country, in the world, or the world, you can do deals. I'm so excited about that. Now, tell me about something. I think now that now you guys are your wife is actually just like similarity to us, right? I'm from Germany. My wife Michelle is from Honduras. Well, we live in the United States. You guys live in Germany, but your wife is from Colombia, right?
Right, from Colombia.
So you guys travel to Colombia and even do deals while you're traveling, right?
Yeah. So the beauty of our business is that my wife is the sales manager. So she likes talking with people, and she's very good in that. And she does our sales. She runs our sales business. And the last time, just an example, Jack. The last time we went to Colombia. It was just a week. It was a very short trip, and we closed 2 deals in that time. While we were in Colombia.
So you took your business from Germany, your business that is operating in the United States. You took it from Germany to Colombia, and while you're in Colombia, you closed 2 deals. Yeah, because it doesn't matter where you live. So absolutely love this. Now, tell us, like, since you have been now a full-time land flipper, you quit your job and all these things. How has it changed your life to be doing this?
Oh, in many ways, it does not only have a financial impact, which obviously has too, but my own time, I value my own time very high, and I have much more time than I had used to have before. And every business owner knows how time is, or how time efficiency, and how time is important when you're a business owner. And this business gives you all opportunity to manage your time by yourself. You decide how much you want to work, Jack, how much time you want to invest. If you want to put 150% of your time in it, do it. It's great, and you will gain huge profits out of that. If you just decide, okay, look, this week I want to do not work at all. I want to work less because I want to spend more with my family. No problem at all. I take it a little bit easy and have more time with my family, with my kids. And when I'm in the mood and working more, I work a little bit more. So no problem at all. So I decide myself how much I work. And but there's always enough profit for in the deals to have a good life.
Right.
Whether I work a little bit more or a little bit less, it doesn't have such a big impact. It's just a matter of what you want, what I want for my life, and what is important for me. And currently my time is important for me. That's why I work a little bit less, and I highly appreciate that flexibility.
Right now, right. So we're going to wrap up in a second. But do you have built a team around you, or is it your wife and you?
No, I mean, we're currently hiring a VA. I have another sales manager. I have a VA to be even more flexible with the selling, and with my time.
So we want to ramp up the team. 38.
Sorry.
And to grow your business even larger than the 38 deals last year.
Oh yeah, of course. I already mentioned, this year we want to do some more deals,
Right. No, absolutely.
No, we want to ramp up the business. We are currently in the process of ramping up our team, more sales, more marketing, more support, and so that the whole organization, the whole structure works even more smooth,
Yeah. That's what we talk about here. That's why this is called the master class. Because ultimately it's about creating freedom, but also creating mastery. So like we have a team that does the land flipping for us. Like last week we sold a property, for example, that I was not involved in listing it. I was not involved in marketing it. I was not involved in selling it. I was not involved in getting the contract signed. I was not involved in getting the money collected. I was not involved in setting up, it was a cash sale, and the second one was a loan. I was not involved in collecting the money. I was not involved in setting up the loan. All I got was a DocuSign from our team with a signature, right? Or actually, Michelle got that, a DocuSign from a signature. And on the cash sale, all we got was a deed to sign. And that's it, right? Because over time, what you do, you actually, as we build mastery, you do what John is doing. You add a couple of team members that are paid by your business profits already, but that allow you to double and triple what you do. So at the beginning, you probably started alone. At the beginning, you started as a one-man or one-woman show, or a husband and wife team, or a dad and daughter, or mom and daughter, or dad and son, or mom and son team, or siblings, or whatever it is, or alone, right? And you start that business, and then over time, as you get the profits, you add those team members into it, and that's exactly the scaling that we show when we guide you to mastery. So with that said, John, with that said, John, one last question is if somebody sits here and watches this and is on the fence about whether or not they should do coaching, what would you tell them? You are now actually, you're doing so well that you became our first a German coach that we brought in, right? By now we're looking to add a couple more coaches because we have more and more German students coming in that are crushing it from Germany. They're doing like $50,000 a month. They're doing like amazing kind of deals from Germany. And so what would you tell somebody that is on the fence and is looking at that?
I can only encourage, just do it. When there's such an amazing team in the background, so whenever a coaching student have difficulties, the whole whole coaching team out of 20, 25 members is helping to bring that coaching student to success. It's amazing. It's a huge team on the background. It's not only the coach itself, it's also the team in the background. And it's just amazing. I have never seen that in the world. I have done so many coachings previously, but this coaching is so helpful. It delivers so much content. It's just amazing. And then whenever there are difficulties, there's such a huge team in the background to help. It's amazing.
Yeah, 100% right. So, and I'll talk about that in just a second more. So with that said, John, thank you very much for being with us. Thank you so much. I know you got deals to go to. You got your little ones. It's little ones to do. I know it's already getting late for you. So with that said, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you very much, Jack, for being here, for inviting me. It was a pleasure.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much.
See you. Great, have a great event. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yes. So with that said, guys, that was how cool was that, right? So there's John sitting in Germany, in Hamburg, Germany, married to this wonderful Colombian lady, 2 children, and they're doing deals in the United States, all for several years already, all before COVID, through COVID, after COVID, like all through the to the time periods here, and just enjoying the life together. And if they don't feel like working, they're having a great time. They're going to the park, they're going to trips, or they take the family to Colombia, do deals while they're there. This is the life that is waiting for you if that juices you, right? If you don't want to be in your living room all day long or in your home office all day long and just crank out deals, you can do that too. The beauty of that is that this business allows you to create your business the way you want to create your business, the way you define your life, the way you envision your life. And I love how one of our Hall of Famers students, Tyson Horn, said, like, this is the only business that he's ever found where the more money you make, the more free time you have. And the reason for that is that in order to make more money, you don't have to add 15 team members, right? If you do 50, 60, 100 deals a year in the house flipping world, you need a team of 6, 7 full-time people. You got to be in the office. You got to motivate them. You got to do things. If you want to do, we have students that do 200 deals a year as a husband and wife team. We have students that do, we have one of our coaches actually does 300 deals a year and does that alone with 1 virtual assistant. That's the power of this, because it's a simpler system. You don't have the tentacles of the houses. You don't have to go see the properties. You don't have to do those things. Yet the same scaling in leadership and scaling rules apply to any business. So you want to plug in to our team on that. And as I mentioned, we have open enrollment right now in our coaching program. Our next group of coaching students starts just literally next week right now. And so we have, and then we're capped out again, right? We only have a few spots available. And as we mentioned right now, the bonuses are still available. And what does coaching will include? Well, what does coaching consist of? Well, coaching consists of, number one, it's one-on-one coaching with our master coaches, like John. He's one of our master coaches now. He came back to us and says, like, hey guys, I love this so much. I would love to contribute. So we brought him in as a coach, and he's bringing German student after German student after German, or international student after international student after international students to success. Because obviously, as an international coach, his specialty, his superpower is to take international students to success, no matter if you live in Canada or in China or in Switzerland, Germany, Austria, or Spain, or wherever it is that you may live in, right? But then also it includes, we do 7 weekly group coaching sessions. Like on one day of the week, there's a session with a detailed curriculum, or a multi-week session all about buying, like better ways to get more deals. Ways to get more offers accepted, ways to get more deals in less time with less effort, right? That's basically what it's all about, right? Ninja tricks, process steps, follow-up processes, all those things is being taught to you 1 time a week. Then also and by the way, each of these sessions have a Q&A at the end. So when you jump on, if you're in the middle of, what that really means is that you're in the middle of a deal and you're like, oh my God, what do I do now? I have this question, how do I answer it, right? You don't have to wait in any other coaching program out there. you now send a message to your coach. Your next coaching session is not until 6 days from now. The coach looks at it 5 days from now and gives you an answer when you don't need the answer anymore. Not with us, ladies and gentlemen, not with us. You're going to have, if you have need a question quickly, number one, we have an accountability coach that is partnered up with you for the entire 12 months, that is full-time with us, and whose role is to make sure that your questions are answered. Number two, we have those daily, Monday to Friday, daily group coaching sessions where they teach you all about buying, all about selling, all about scaling, Q&As, open Q&A questions sessions. But each of these sessions has a Q&A component to it. So you can literally, you have a question, you jump on that day's call, coaching call. You make sure your questions gets asked. You may ask a question. And your question gets answered, and you got your answer, right? And you got your answer. So as I said, it's one-on-one coaching, it's group coaching. It also, as I already mentioned, you're teamed up with an accountability partner and our accountability coach, which are full-time team members in our end that are fully trained on our method from A to Z, backwards, forwards, and sideways. They know our method inside out. They go and they either have the answer to your question, they will get the answer to your question, right? Or they will put you together with one of our team members that has the answer to your question. Their role in life, their job, their mission in life is to make sure that you are taken care of and that you have the answers, right? That you get the answers. Now, also, then on top of that, and they check in with you on a regular basis to make sure that even if you're like, forget to contact them or whatever it is, that they plug in with you and says like, are you good? Do you need anything? What are you struggling with? So that we can keep moving you through the process, right? And we can make sure that you get to the finish line, which is a deal, multiple deals, and that scalability, that mastery that we're talking about here. Then also on top of that, we actually start you in our Land Profit Coaching, a master's program. We start you with a 6-week quick start intensive program. It's a small group, a ramp up coaching 6-week program, right? Within the program, that where you literally go on week 1, you set up your systems, you select your counties. On week 2, you're getting lists and sending out letters, right? We're not playing around. We want you to be by week 3 or 4 or 5 already making offers and getting potentially deals accepted already, right? That's the goal, right? Then we'll teach you how to sell these properties, how to list these properties, how to close on these properties. All of that. It's a quick start ramp up process that is not any kind of like beginner's thing. It is intensive and it's fun and it has support, and our team checks in with you and makes sure that you progress, and it's like the best thing that the world has ever seen. All of this together is designed for accountability, 360-degree support. We have a task force that if anyone is struggling, right, then we can identify that person that is struggling and we come descend on you and we'll make sure that we solve that problem. We are committed to your success like no other company in the world has ever been, right? We are the Harvard of land flipping. We are the 4 seasons of land flipping, and we are going to make sure that as long as you are doing the steps forward, that we are going to do anything in our power to get you to the finish line. So with that said, what you need to do is you need to go and book yourself a session with our team at landcoaching.com. Go to landcoaching.com, excuse me. Book yourself a session at landcoaching.com. Contact your concierge. If you've already been talking to your concierge, which you obviously should have right now, right? Book a call with your concierge. Get on the calendar. We only have a few spots available, and the bonuses are still available, right? The money off, if you enroll today for the full pay, is always still available. The bonus we mentioned in the morning are still available. Everything the bonus we mentioned so far over the course of the week, and so they're still available. So make sure you hold on to them, you grab onto them, because this all is going to go away on in just a few days, right? It's all going to go away. We close the class, right? We then focus. Our company then turns around and goes all animal on our students to make sure you guys are set up, ramped up, ready to go, onboarded. We go. You'll never see a support like you see in our company, because Here's the deal. Michelle and I don't need to sell another coaching program in our life, right? We don't ever have needed to sell a coaching program. We are fine. We own 700 apartment complex. We own apartment complex units and rental houses. We own commercial property. We have our own land business, right? That we grew to over $70,000 a month in cash flow, right? We have our own land deals. We're doing this because we want to generate 1,000 millionaires in the next 2 years, right? What that really means is that not just millionaires, but not everyone has the desire to be a millionaire, but what means that we want you to be successful. We have built this organization, like John said, we built this organization such that it is so centric on support, accountability, and making sure that you take the next step and the next step and the next step, so that as long as you're willing to have success and willing to do the steps, there is only one outcome for you, and that is success. So if you want success in your life, if you want to step out, you want to break the generational curse of perhaps of financial, not poverty, but financial lack of abundance, right? If you want to finally bring your family to abundance, if you want your love, if you want to be the shiny beacon of hope in your family, those that people point to and says like, I'm so glad you found this Land Profit coaching program. You found this Land Profit Masterclass. I'm so glad, because the trajectory of our lives has deviated since then, and we are on the path to absolute financial freedom. I want your family to say that to you. I want you to be able to go to sleep at night with a smile on your face, knowing that you were able to do that. I know that you were able to follow the advice and do that. I want you to be able to be in that position of your life. So are you ready to change your life? Are you ready to go and take the bull by the horns? Are you ready to implement the system that is simpler than house flipping? Obviously, there's still work involved, guys. Obviously, there's still things you need to do, but that's where we are there for. We're here ready to take you by the hand and bring you to the success. So go give me a heck yes. Say I'm in. Say the words I'm in if you want in on coaching. Put the words I'm in if you want to talk to us, but at the same time, take the action step right now. Go to landcoaching.com and book yourself a call. All right. So with that said, thank you very much. You guys have a great rest of the day. Again, thank you for attending this. We can't wait to work with you. We can't wait for you to be one of our millionaires. Just like, for example, as I said, another gentleman from Germany, Robin, who is now doing over $50,000 a month in profits. In other words, and is scaling that, continues to scale that to $100,000 a month. So within probably a few more weeks or months, he's at the point that he's pulling 6 figures a month, which means he's pulling in 7 figures a year. Now, that is the possibility. Does everyone do that? No, right? Somebody else, some of our students are happy with 100 grand, right? 50 grand, 75 grand, 150 grand, and so on. But whatever your goal is, we can take you there if you're willing to commit to yourself, commit to your own courage, commit to your own capabilities, commit to your own success, because we have the tools and the systems and the accountability and the processes in place to get you there. So go commit to yourself right now. Book yourself a call on landcoaching.com. Thank you very much, guys.